pressure from Thailand's Kruget Piche. His time, 14.91, the silver medal by just 1/100th of a second.
This is Urs Colley. This is back to the men's pentathlon, P44. And Colley at best is a 40-meter thrower. Once again, pretty good technique. That's not a bad effort at all for Colley. He's lying in a medal position at the moment overall in the pentathlon. Just over 6 meters in the long jump, 12.12 for the 100 meters. These are all exceptional performances. 12.62 in the 100 meters, 42.95.
There's so much force going down through the arms. The head and shoulders have to be used in a very, very smooth rhythm. But his the range of movement he produced and the speed too, the turner of the arms was vastly superior to the rest, especially, and that is telling, in the first 25 meters.
Well, this is Don Elgin of Australia. Good all-round athlete is Elgin. He's been around for quite a few years too. Nice start, nice finish as well. And that, unfortunately, is a foul for the Australian. Elgin started off the pentathlon with a 5 meters 12 long jump and 12.75 in the shot put, 13.42 for the 100 meters. And he'll be looking for something in excess of 40 meters here in this first round, but unfortunately got a foul. Australia certainly well represented. This is the Lithuanian, Tomas Keris. And that's not a particularly good start for Tomas. Now about the 30-meter mark. Needs more than that to get good points on the board. All the performances here, of course, are converted into points.
To the right of picture.
Back to the leader in the discus, Jeff Skiba. Now this guy is a very, very useful high jumper as well. He's such a talented all-round athlete. But he's just lying outside of the medal positions currently in the pentathlon. So needs a good discus throw here to put the pressure on everybody else. 42 meters plus in the first round. That was a very useful 790 points. Got hold of that one, but it's just a little bit too high. And a shake of the head there, that tells the story. It's only around about 36 meters.
Priceno of Venezuela.
Back to Urs Colley. As I was saying earlier, he's still got a chance of a medal. He's up there in terms of the points behind, pretty level actually, with Jeremy Campbell of the United States and Casey Tibbs, who is still leading. And Urs Colley is actually the world record holder. We've still got the last event to come, obviously, after the discus, which is the 400 meters later on today. So Colley under a little bit of pressure. He does display very good technique, though. And that is quite a useful throw. Not as far as his first one. 42 meters 95 in the first round. That was for 700. As we go back to the discus. This pentathlon still continuing. This is the Lithuanian, Keris. And was that a red flag straight away? I suspect it was. So that is his second foul, and he's got a real problem now. No points on the board, so...
Disqualification. The same rules apply for these athletes as for able-bodied athletes. Second false start, and you disqualify yourself.
Here's the leader in the pentathlon, Casey Tibbs of the United States. And I guess you could say that that was a very rudimentary technique in discus, but because these guys are multi-eventers, Casey Tibbs happens to be a pretty useful long jumper and more than a useful sprinter, so maybe the discus is one of his weaknesses here, but he's still leading at the moment. And more from New Zealand. Back to the pentathlon discus just for a moment, and this looks like French competitor Xavier Ledralec. And in terms of his overall position, just stays in the circle there. Well, he's in about 5th or 6th place overall at the moment. Certainly a very experienced competitor. I hate to say it, but he's actually one of the oldest competitors there, over 40 years old.
But he's a fantastic physical specimen, Paul. Saw him earlier on in the day, stripping down and His torso is almost like a ball.
Outside his own games record, which he set yesterday in the semi-final.
Well, it was catch-up there for Weir, wasn't it? 13.19. Jeremy Campbell then. In this pentathlon discus, it's P44 category, of course. Campbell 34.69 with his opening throw. They have just 3 throws, remember. That's a good effort, my word. Bangs that one out very well indeed, does Campbell, and I think he likes it. They know, these guys, when they've hit it well. It's just like able-bodied throwers, whether they're hammer, jammer, javelin, shot or discus throwers. They know from the moment of release whether they've got the timing and the rhythm right. And that from throws 3 at a time in that discipline before being removed from the chair and the equipment is adjusted, or indeed replaced, and then adjusted for the next competitor.
A 1.325 is the multi-talented Jeff Skeeber. He's a sprinter and a jumper as well. He's lying down in 4th place in this pentathlon at the moment. Nice long arms, very fast finish, and that's a pretty useful start for him in the discus, over 40 meters. Doesn't look too impressed with it. The Paralympic Sport television player by hitting the Contact Us button, or you can simply go to info@paralympic.org. Get a shot of the flags, Tim, but very strange wind here in the Assen Stadium. This is Jeremy Campbell now in the discus. He's lying in a silver medal position currently. 34 meters plus in the first round, so a disappointing start for him. He's certainly capable of throwing well beyond 40 meters. When he gets it right, the turn has got to be so precise. Then you've got to hit it as hard as you can, keeping that right arm as long as possible. And that is not good either. So Jeremy Campbell, I think that is his final throw, and his best, 43 meters 20 in actual fact. And so that is a very useful score indeed, one of the longest we've seen so far today. And 783 points.
And literally non-stop action for many hours in the day. And it is great fun, not just for youngsters, but for adult spectators as well. Good to see. And for the athletes too, that really gives them a buzz. It inspires them to better performances. And you mentioned earlier the number of games records and world records there have been, not to mention personal bests, which are, I should think, literally incalculable in number. But it's been a fantastic atmosphere as the days have rolled by.
Back to the pentathlon, Don Elgin of Australia. Absolutely unbeatable over the sprints. Well, now it's back to the leader in the pentathlon, Casey Tibbs of the United States. And he's already jumped 6 meters 10 in the long jump, 12.21 in the shot put, 11.86 in the 100 meters, and now in the discus. And that is not a great effort, but it's not bad. It's around about the 40-meter mark once again. Back to the pentathlon discus.
A warning card. 2 athletes, in effect, giving them a full start warning for raising their arm when they're under starters' orders.
Yeah, that's certainly the case, and it's certainly been a bit of a mystery, I think, as the false start rules have developed. But meanwhile, until that 100-meter final is underway.